wrong if your child brought you a piece of paper that looks like this. Well, when I was little, this is what my paper looked like when my dad would ask me to write my alphabet. And when I was in 3rd grade, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I overcame my challenge of being dyslexic. So when I'm finished, you'll know exactly what I did to overcome my challenge. So today I'm going to talk to you about being diagnosed with dyslexia. I'm going to talk to you about working hard to overcome my dyslexia. And I'm also going to talk to you about using my disability to my advantage. How many of you know what dyslexia is? A good chunk of you. So the Dyslexia International Association classifies dyslexia as a reading disability, but it's also a learning disability that affects children's ability to read, write, spell, and pronunciate words properly. So when I was in 3rd grade, my parents decided to switch schools. So not only was I the new kid, 3 months after I transferred, I was also diagnosed with dyslexia. So with all of these horrible things of moving and all these other things, I had to try and fit in with the new kids. And it's so difficult to move and be the new kid and then also be the new kid that's in special ed, because who wants to be friends with the special ed kid? So I knew at that young of an age that I still wanted to be a teacher, and no matter what, I was going to do whatever I had to become that. So I knew that I was going to have to work hard. So that's what I did. I had every resource that my teacher told me to do, I did. So for 3 years, I did Hooked on Phonics every day after school. Like, I would go home, and on top of doing homework, I would also do Hooked on Phonics. I, during class, had to read chapter books, and in those chapter books, they would have me put like a transparency over it, so whether it be blue or green or yellow or orange, it was to help the letters pop off the page so that hopefully my mind would see them better and I could catch all the words that I was reading. I would have stood on my head upside down and read a book if they said, hey, you'll become a better reader. Like, I would have done anything they told me to. But with all of my teachers giving me these things to do, most of them told me that I should choose a different profession. Like, do you really want to be a teacher? That's going to be difficult for you. Or why would you choose something that you could not accomplish in life? And things like that. So for a long time, I didn't really know what I wanted to be. So from like 3rd grade till like high school, I just kind of did whatever. I just kind of went through the motions. I wasn't too sure with what I wanted to be. I was just kind of in school because I knew eventually I had to go somewhere. So finally in 9th grade, I was no longer qualified for special education. They decided that my dyslexia no longer affected my ability to read and to write and to do daily tasks. So I was pulled from the program, and with my disability behind me, I decided to use it to my advantage. So rather than, give up on my dream of wanting to be a teacher from being young, I decided that my sophomore year of high school I wanted to be a teacher. And rather than just be any teacher, I decided that I was going to be a resource room teacher, because I think that I can relate to those students more than I can relate to a normal child. Because in the resource room, I can relate to the students who feel like the world's against them, who no one is encouraging them, and all of those things that go along with it. So I want to be that person that encourages my students. I also know what it's like to struggle, because I struggled as well. So when they feel like, oh, I can't read this, I'm like, no, I know you can read it, because like I was there too. I read that same story that you're struggling with. So in conclusion, I told you about me being diagnosed with dyslexia. I've told you about overcoming my disability, and I told you about using my disability to my advantage. So what I really want you to get from today's presentation is that no matter how hard something seems to be, you can always overcome it, no matter what. I'm living proof of that. So thank you for your time. Does anybody have any questions?